Kimmel's late-night set, the audience had been buzzing with anticipation for Ryan Gosling's much-anticipated appearance. Known for his calm demeanor and witty charm, Gosling was there to promote his latest film, but from the start, there was an undeniable tension in the air. Jimmy opened with light banter, making jokes about Gosling's past roles and personal life, but the tone quickly shifted when the host pressed him on a controversial comment Gosling had made during a recent interview. The crowd chuckled awkwardly, unsure if the exchange was still in jest or veering into confrontation. Gosling, visibly annoyed, attempted to steer the conversation back to his work, but Jimmy doubled down with another probing question. The playful atmosphere dissolved, replaced by an uncomfortable edge that even the live audience could feel. Cameras captured Gosling's jaw tightening, his eyes narrowing slightly as he delivered a sharp, measured response that hinted at deeper frustration simmering beneath his Hollywood-polished exterior. As the interview progressed, the tension only escalated. Jimmy, perhaps sensing an opportunity for ratings gold, leaned into the discomfort, tossing out barbed remarks wrapped in humor. Gosling, however, was not in the mood to be the butt of a late-night comedy bit. His replies became shorter, his body language more closed off, arms folded and gaze occasionally shifting away from the host. The studio audience exchanged nervous glances, and producers behind the scenes began whispering urgently through headsets. Kimmel cracked a joke about one of Gosling's recent box office disappointments, and the actor's expression shifted from irritation to open hostility. The energy in the room shifted palpably. What had started as playful late-night ribbing had turned into a battle of egos playing out before millions. Midway through the interview, Gosling attempted to take control of the narrative, redirecting the discussion toward the positive reception his latest film had received from critics. But Jimmy, perhaps emboldened by the live format and the audience's uneasy laughter, interrupted yet again to bring up rumors about Gosling's alleged on-set clashes with a director. The comment landed like a spark in dry brush. Gosling leaned forward, his voice dropping into a calm but pointed tone as he addressed the host directly, making it clear he would not entertain baseless gossip. His words were laced with both frustration and dignity, but Jimmy's smirk seemed to fuel the tension rather than diffuse it. In that moment, the air felt heavy, the laughter forced, and the atmosphere primed for an explosion. The breaking point came when Jimmy, ignoring Gosling's growing irritation, pushed the envelope further by making a personal jab disguised as humor. The actor froze for a split second, then set his coffee mug down with a deliberate thud. He removed his microphone, looked squarely at the host, and delivered a parting line that would echo across social media within minutes. "I came here to talk about my work, not to be your punchline," he said, his voice steady but sharp. Without another word, Gosling stood, straightened his jacket, and walked off the stage as the stunned audience erupted into a mix of gasps and scattered applause. Jimmy sat momentarily speechless, before attempting to recover with a self-deprecating joke, but the moment had already cemented itself in late-night TV infamy. Backstage, chaos ensued. Producers scrambled to decide whether to cut to a commercial or attempt to coax Gosling back onto the stage. Assistants followed him down the corridor, pleading with him to reconsider, but the actor's mind was made up. He offered polite but firm refusals, citing the disrespect he felt during the interview. Within minutes, news outlets were alerted, and entertainment bloggers began drafting headlines. By the time Gosling exited the studio into the cool Los Angeles night, paparazzi cameras were already flashing, capturing his composed but visibly irritated expression. His departure marked the end of a segment that would be replayed and dissected endlessly across talk shows, podcasts, and online forums. Online, the fallout was immediate and intense. Clips of the confrontation began circulating within minutes, with hashtags like #GoslingWalksOut and #KimmelClash trending worldwide. Fans were divided. Some praised Gosling for standing his ground, while others criticized him for being overly sensitive. Late-night television pundits debated whether Jimmy had crossed a line or whether Gosling had overreacted. Even celebrities weighed in, some sharing their own uncomfortable late-night experiences, while others defended the unscripted chaos as part of the entertainment game. The polarized reactions only fueled the story's momentum, ensuring it would remain in the cultural conversation for days to come. Meanwhile, Gosling's PR team worked overtime to manage the narrative. A carefully worded statement was released, emphasizing his respect for Jimmy and the show while subtly reaffirming his stance on not tolerating personal attacks. The statement struck a balance between professionalism and principle, but behind closed doors, insiders revealed that Gosling was unlikely to accept another invitation from Kimmel anytime soon. Industry analysts speculated on whether the incident would impact his promotional tour or public image, but early signs suggested it might actually boost interest in his film. Pre-sale ticket numbers spiked, and fan engagement across his social media accounts surged, suggesting that the controversy might work in his favor. On Jimmy's side, the response was more complicated. The late-night host addressed the incident during the following night's monologue, making light of it but also acknowledging that maybe things got a little too real. The joke-filled recap was met with mixed reactions from viewers. Some laughed along, while others accused him of sidestepping responsibility. Ratings for the episode spiked, but not all attention was positive. Critics began questioning whether late-night television's reliance on gotcha moments was undermining genuine interviews and alienating high-profile guests. As the dust began to settle, the incident took on a life of its own, inspiring memes, parody videos, and even fan art. Gosling's walk-off became a symbol for anyone who had ever wanted to exit an uncomfortable situation with dignity intact. Late-night writers, sensing the cultural resonance, began referencing the clash in sketches and monologues across multiple networks. In a strange twist, the heated exchange may have strengthened Gosling's public image as someone unwilling to compromise his values for the sake of entertainment, even as it put Kimmel under renewed scrutiny. Weeks later, the industry was still talking. Rumors swirled about behind-the-scenes tensions between talk show hosts and their booking teams, with some insiders claiming that Gosling's departure had made other celebrities more cautious about accepting interviews. Studios reportedly began negotiating stricter terms for guest appearances, ensuring that conversations stayed within agreed boundaries. The Gosling-Kimmel incident had become a case study in modern celebrity media relations, demonstrating how quickly a promotional appearance could spiral into headline-making drama. Ultimately, both men moved on. Gosling continued his promotional tour, enjoying increased box office success, while Kimmel returned to his usual mix of humor and celebrity interviews. Yet, the memory of that night lingered, a reminder of how volatile live television could be when egos, humor, and boundaries collided in front of millions. For fans, the clash was unforgettable, a rare moment when the gloss of Hollywood cracked just enough to reveal the raw human emotions beneath the surface. And for Ryan Gosling, it was a line in the sand, one he had no regrets about drawing.